We are just waiting here for just a minute or two for everyone to log on here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time to tune in today. We are waiting just a minute here for a few more people to come in. I see several of you are already writing in the chat box, and that is great. However, if you have not yet given Yard Screen permission, I cannot see your name, but I can guess from some of the comments who is talking. So today, I am not going to take up too much of your time, but I did want to share Dr. Gwen's My New Brain Break kit with you. So the first thing that I want you to do before we get started is I want you to go and include friends, family, colleagues. I'm going to give you just a second. Send this to someone in a text, in an email, start a watch party so that other people get in on this information as well. It really is good stuff today, guys. I am very excited about rolling this out. So I'm going to give everybody just a second here to do that. Hello, Carla. How are you? Welcome. Hello, Miss Rodriguez. I'm going to assume that's you since I'm seeing hola, hola. Miss Pingley, welcome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. The first thing that I am going to tell you is you guys have already started writing comments, thoughts in the chat box. That's great. I want you to do that. I want you to write reflections, insights, any aha moments. We are all learning and growing here. I am not all knowing. I am learning from you guys as well. So if you are a teacher or a parent or a social worker or a counselor and you have experience with these particular tools that I am going to share today, by all means, please go out and share those in the comment box. And also what I plan to do is at the end of this broadcast, I will randomly pick two people from the chat box in the order in which you commented, and I am going to gift two of these brain break kits to two of my participants for today. So make sure that you are writing in the chat box, and I will periodically throughout the presentation stop and just share some comments. All right, so the first thing that I want to share with you is what is a brain break? So a brain break is a simple mental or physical activity that you do to re-energize and re-engage your brain. For example, if you have been looking for your keys and you cannot find them, or whatever it is you're looking for, you're looking all over for it, and you just stop for a minute, take a break, say, I'm gonna just, you know what, let me just stop for a second. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I knew that's where I put my keys. I don't know why I couldn't find them. You gave your brain a break, just time to breathe for a minute. So just giving your brain time to breathe. Or if you've been working on something for hours, you know it, but nothing is coming to you, and you say, I'm just going to put this down and come back to it. You come back and you're really refreshed. That's when you gave your brain a break. Again, chance to just breathe. Or at night, I know I do my best work first thing in the morning, and it's because at night I had the time to shut it off and recharge and re-energize. So that's simply all that a brain break is. So I am going to go here. So the My Brain Break Kit. I am going to start with just telling you why and how this kit became about. So most of you know, or some of you know, that I have been in the education realm for 23, 4+ years now. I started out as a special education teacher working with students with behavior disorders. They now call that program emotional impairment, depending on where you are. I transitioned into counseling, did that for about 20 years or so, and then recently went back to my first love of teaching. And I now teach students, work with students that have emotional impairments. And some of you may say, well, what is an emotional impairment? So that's just different disabilities. Some of them may be autistic. Some of them may, have learning disabilities on top of maybe being autistic or having ADHD or maybe being bipolar. I mean, just a range of different disorders. So, and they need a little additional support to be successful. So my brain break kit actually came out of that. This year in my class, I had a calm down corner, what I called a calm down corner. And in that corner, I had a box of different tools that the kids could use when they just needed to give their brain a break. And so they would go over there because a lot of people have a calm down area, but you really have to teach the kids. And I'm just going to show my face here again, really. Teach the kids how to use those different tools. So one of the things I would say is when you go to the calm down area, you have to actually be using a strategy, because a lot of parents, teachers, whoever, you kind of go to the calm down area and then it's like, what do I do? Just sitting there doesn't necessarily calm anybody down. Sometimes people can take a little break and calm down, but in most cases we have to do something. So I would tell the students that you have to get something out of the box and show me that you're using a strategy. And so that's where some of these strategies came from. And then others I've just used over the years as, as a counselor. Welcome, Miss Bradley. So I'm going to go back and just share here. So my brain break kit has a lot of helpful, tangible tools and strategies and ideas for children to help manage their anxiety, to help them problem solve, to improve concentration, all while having fun. And when I say fun, I don't mean we're playing and joking around, not that kind of fun, but they have fun learning. They're getting coping skills, all those kinds of things. So it keeps them in that learning process without getting frustrated. And it also reinforces the message that there are things that we can do to take care of ourselves during times of distress, and not only, children, but adults as well. So I'm going to jump right into the self-care kit. I'm going to go back here so that you can see. All right, so some of the things that I say self-care kit, I have a self-care kit. We're talking about the My Brain Break kit right now. All right, so the My Brain Break kit, what it has in it is it has a lot of different tools, like I said, and strategies. One of the tools, I'm just going to go right down the list here. You actually get a bag with all these tools in it. I wanted it to have something that was very tangible that kids could take with them, and different things that they can use. So one of the things that is in the self-care kit is, and I keep saying self-care kit, one of the things that's in the brain break kit is a Rubik's Cube. How many of you had these when you were a child and you would spend hours working with the cube? So sometimes when a student would get frustrated, they go to the calm down area, and everybody had their favorite thing. They would grab a cube, and what the cube does, it takes your mind off of whatever it is you're frustrated, angry, upset about, because you actually could use the tube and it actually would help you concentrate. You're concentrating on figuring it out. So whatever it is that you're stressed or emotional about or have anxiety about, you actually can, get that out. And usually when students went to the calm down area, they would go there for 3 to 5 minutes. It shouldn't take them much longer than that. So a lot of teachers I know would say, I don't want all that stuff in my room because that's just stuff for them to play. Well, I'm just going to tell you, it makes your life a lot easier. So if you want to be frustrated right along with them all, all year long, then that's a choice. But you can choose to, as you start to see students get frustrated, head it off before they even get there. So there were times where I would just point to the calm down area and they knew just go over there for a few minutes and regroup. And there were other times where they would just say, Dr. Martin, can I go to the calm down area? Yes, sweetie, go over there to the calm down area. All right. So one of the other things I have in the kit is just a bookmark, a simple bookmark that to encourage students to read for pleasure and for learning. And so each bookmark has a personal little message on there, or I would say an inspirational message. This one happens to say, I cheer myself up when I'm feeling down. And on the other side, it says, I don't give up easily. So each bookmark has a positive message on both sides. I've taken the time to put a little tassel on there. I've laminated it so it's not something that's going to tear up easily. Hopefully, they would have that for a really long time. One of the other things that I have in the kit, I know a lot of you have seen these, is a little spinner. Kids can spend hours using the little spinner, doing all kinds of tricks and things. So I would say go and spin out your emotions. So if they go over there for 3 to 5 minutes and they're doing that little spinner and it takes their mind or just gives their brain a break, awesome. Come back to it. And I would also use the little kit for sometimes when they were finished their work and everybody else was still working, they'd say, Dr. Martin, do you mind if I get something out of Calm Down Kit? Not at all, sweetie, because they're still working quietly and they're doing a strategy and they're not being disruptive. So the little spinners, I know, like I said, a lot of schools have banned them. And, I don't think that kids should be walking around spinning and playing with them all day. But like I said, if you teach them that it's not a toy, that it's actually a tool, something that they can use to help, them, with anxiety or stress, concentration, all of those kinds of things, then it could be very useful in the classroom. One of the other things that I have in the kit is just a tiny little stuffed animal. And they can put this on their backpack. They can put this on their belt loop. Some kids, especially students that have sensory issues, love to just feel something soft. And I know this is small, but again, I wanted to put things into a kit where it could be portable, where students can take that with them. And this whole kit thing, one of the reasons also that I came up with this is, that whole transition where we just went from school to home. I found that in working with students, parents would get frustrated, the students would be frustrated, and I would just say, take a break, but do something other than be on the computer. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do all these non-electronic things. We never know I wouldn't say we never know. Somebody knows. We don't know just yet what we're going to be doing when the new school year starts back. But whether you are at home or at school, this is very useful stuff. Because if you're at home, I want the students to be able to take a break and not do something on the computer, to step away from it for a minute and give themselves a break, their eyes a break, their neck a break. Just do something, with your hands. So oftentimes I would ask the students, or the parents, have you guys been outside today? No. Please go outside and take a little break. So anyway, let me go on with the kit. So I actually have a little apple in there, and something that you can simply do to take a break is just stop for a minute and have a healthy snack in the middle of the day. Whether you're at school or again at home, sometimes in the afternoons we would have just a break where the kids could have a snack. Because sometimes they don't always eat school lunch. We know that. They pick and choose what they eat, and then they're frustrated or tired or whatever just because they're hungry. So in the afternoons, we would have time for them to have a healthy snack. So we weren't bringing candy and chips and all those kinds of things, but they could bring something healthy to eat in the afternoons. Another thing that we have in the kit, or that I have in the kit, is some stencils. So each pack has a big stencil and it has a smaller stencil that has several things on there. So just to encourage kids to be creative, draw a picture about, what do you know about teddy bears, or what's your favorite teddy bear movie, or what was, a teddy bear, or just draw me a picture to tell me something about teddy bears. And then this little one, you can see it has Mickey on it. It has like a Winnie the Pooh. It has Penguin. So each one of them, and they will have different ones in each kit, but they will get a big stencil, and they will also get a smaller stencil. Sweetie, will you hand me a stress ball off of the table over there? And to go along with the stencil, I also provide you with a 12 pack of colored pencils. A lot of times when we would have activities, I know, especially when the students went home, and it was like, if you gave them an activity where they had to do something like create or color or whatever, a lot of them would say, I don't have colored pencils, I don't have crayons. Or, even when they were home with pencils, because they weren't used to all this work at home, I don't have a pencil sharpener. So I put a pack of 12 colored pencils in there. They're already sharpened, but I also provided a dual little sharpener. And again, I wanted it to be transportable, so it actually has where the shavings can get inside. So you get the colored pencils to go along with the stencil. I have this little monkey. They call it a little monkey string. And this little thing, when I first saw it, I thought, what is that? But the little monkey string, kids love this stuff. You can stretch it. So I say, stretch out your resistance. You can stretch it, move it around. They can bend it and twirl it. It doesn't make noise or anything. It's a great little fidget toy. Sometimes kids just need things to keep their hands and all busy, and to keep them, where they're not being a distraction to others, but they can still get things done. So this is just a little what we call a monkey string or a fidget string, and it stretches, I think, like up to like 8 feet or whatever. I just tell them to be careful when they're slinging it around, that they don't hit somebody or they don't pop someone in the eye with it. But it's actually a very good tool. It's also really good for anyone with sensory kinds of issues because of the touch of it. All right, so another thing I have inside of the kit, and this is just a little bend and snap it, so they can actually be creative and make little shapes. Let's see what I can make here. If I can make a little heart really quick. So you actually can bend it and shape it, and they can actually be creative. I'm not the most creative, as you can as you can see here, as I try to make a little heart. Okay, there you go. That's somewhat of a little heart. I made it a lot better this morning. But so this is actually a little snap and click. So it has like 24 of these little things that you can just bend it and twist it and make all kind of shapes and symbols. So this is a great little tool to have. And like I said, it's something that they can use on their breaks. Oftentimes, if we had inside recess, the students was, instead of playing a game, they wanted to go get something out of the calm down box, and that was fine. They could still play with those kinds of things. All right, another thing that I have inside of the kit is a stress ball. And the stress ball, again, you have to teach students or kids how to use it. It's not a toy, again, so you can't, it's not to throw and play with and all that kind of stuff. So I tell them the way to use this is, if they're using it to focus when they're working, to actually use it in their non-writing hands. So whatever, if you're right-handed, put it in your left hand so you can squeeze it while you're writing to help with some of the stress and anxiety. So I said, give your mind and your hands a break. Or mash out the madness, mash out the anxiety, mash out the stress. So one of the other things, like I said, they can use it just for that, even when they're not working, sometimes just to mush out our emotions. So this is actually, a stress ball that they can use for that. But again, you have to tell the kids, it's not a toy. If I find you throwing it or playing with it or those kinds of things, then maybe this isn't the tool for you. You may have to get something else out of the toolbox or try a different strategy. Okay. All right. One of the other things that we have in the kit is a little popper. And again, it's kind of like this little monkey string. This little popper, it's like, what is that little thing? But kids can sit there and entertain themselves with this little popper, for hours on end. So you just mash it down and then it just pops up. So they have fun seeing how far they can make it pop or whatever. So but again, it's quiet. So a lot of times, some of these things you actually have to do when we actually have a real break in the day. So that's one of the things that is here. I'm just going to take a minute and check the chat box here and see what kind of comments we have. Ms. Bradley said, this is so important, true. This is so true and so important. Thank you so much for stopping in, Ms. Bradley. She says, again, great information. Love this. I met Ms. Bradley. We worked together for a while. Ms. Bradley is an excellent teacher. She has moved on to bigger and better things, and she works also with kids and adults with special needs. So welcome, Ms. Bradley. Chime in here with whatever experiences you have. My two nieces and my two nieces, Summer and Autumn, are watching. Awesome. Miss Pingley, that's a fake apple. Yes, it is a fake apple. It's symbolic of healthy eating. Let's see here. Miss Carla is saying hi to Summer and Autumn. Miss Pingley, they can use their mask for that next year. What can they use their mask for next year, Miss Pingley, to keep them safe? I don't know what that comment was about. All right, so let's see. Miss Pingley said, oh, she's talking about Miss Bradley. She's missing her with that pencil behind the ear. Yes, I can see that as well. So, and there's another thing that I have. Let me go back here to the kit. The stretchy thing. They can use that for a mask. Oh, that's cute to keep their mask behind their head. They probably can use it for that, but that's not its intended purpose. Let's see. Miss Bradley is saying, I would love to partner and do one of these information. Oh, excellent, Miss Bradley. Absolutely. Let's do it. All right. And so one of the other things that I have inside of the kit, and it's actually coming in today, I keep building because I keep thinking of other things. And it's actually the little marble fidget. I can tell you about it. I don't have it. The UPS guy should be coming in a minute. I added that as early as yesterday. So what you get with that is actually a marble in a little mesh thing that the kids can twist and move the marble, kind of up and down. And around to kind of fidget with, and it's soft again, so it's kind of a sensory kind of thing that they can use. So those are the things that I have inside of my brain break kit. And the great thing about this is it has something for everyone. Not everyone is going to like everything. Not every strategy is going to work for every child. Some students don't. The stress ball is not something that they can do. And the other thing that I have, I'm going to exit right here really quick. This, thought I had this right here. The other thing that I have is it actually tells you everything that's in the kit on one of these cards, and it has the actual strategy written on it. So the apple, of course, it says eat healthy snacks. The bookmark, read for pleasure, to learn and grow. The colored pencil, color your day bright and cheerful. The monkey noodle, stretch your imagination. The little popper, have some pop-up fun. The snap and click is challenge your brain to create shapes and symbols. The little spinner, spin out anxiety and stress. Then the stress ball, massage your hand and your mind. And then the little stuffed animal says, it's nice to have a furry friend. And I think these tools are going to be really important, like I said, whether we're at home or if we go back to school, but definitely to help students if they do transition back to school, because trust and believe there's going to be a lot of anxiety with students as they transition back, but not only the students, with the adults as well. We all will be on edge. One of the things I can definitely suggest to parents and, teachers or whoever, however you're feeling about it, just know that you are going to project that onto your students. So if you are really stressed about going back, your kids are going to be really stressed about going back. So, whenever you get the news from the school about whatever they decide, take time to digest that and come up with a plan or a strategy before you sit down and talk to the kids about it. And whatever it is you're feeling, try to make it positive and neutral about them going back, whatever your decision is. I know some districts are giving students the option of maybe doing homeschool or online school again, or coming back. Whatever it is you choose, whatever is best for you and your family, I would just caution you on however you approach that is how your kids will approach it as well. And then on the back of that card, it actually has some additional brain breaks for kids. And these are more of the physical kinds of things that they can do, like go for a walk. They can kind of check those things off that they're doing it. Talk to a friend or a family member when you take a little break. Play with the pet. Exercise. Go out and ride your bike. Listen to music. Right now in one of my support groups, we're actually doing a music challenge for the week. Blow bubbles. I wish I had my bubbles here, but blowing bubbles is one of the things that I do often, especially when we were doing the online school, because after being on the computer all day, when I would take my lunch break or these 10-minute breaks every now and then, I would just go out on the patio, have my big thing of bubbles, and it's so relaxing to just blow some bubbles and just watch them float away. That's something, that's very inexpensive that kids can do. So blowing bubbles, completing a puzzle. I am a puzzle person. In class, I actually had a couple of stations, and one of the stations was a drawing station where they had colored pencils and stencils, and another station, and these were, I say stations, but really there were areas where they can take breaks or they can utilize them during recess or just for a calm down. The other one was I would have these big 500-600 piece puzzles that they would all work together to create. So it always stayed on that little table. And puzzles are a great way for kids to focus, concentrate, and to actually just see something that they helped create it. So I know puzzles are really popular right now where everybody's home and you can do them as a family. So doing a puzzle, just taking some slow, deep breaths, that's a great way to stop and take a brain break. Or if you're at home, just go lay down and take a nap. Um, just take a nap if you can. That's a great way, like I said, to give a brain break. That's why I'm really so fresh first thing in the morning. So what are your thoughts, guys? I'm going to go back here and check in the chat box really quickly. What are you thinking about the brain break kit? What are your thoughts? Let me hear from you guys. Just a second here. Tell me, what are you thinking about the brain break kit? What is something that you liked in the kit? What's something you maybe already have? What is something that you think would be useful for you, your child, someone that you know? Give me, or someone that you know, give me some feedback here. All right, I'm waiting. Nothing in the chat box here. Give you just another few seconds. Carla says she really likes the different objects in the bag. Great, Carla. They definitely are things that are useful. Like I said, whether the students are going to be at home or at school, hopefully teachers, I know a lot of schools have gone to creating calm down areas within the class or within a separate little area where they have a box of things that students could use. But it's great if it's already handy. And also, I would share this with parents because some of these strategies they can use at home. Some of the parents, when I've had some of my parent meetings, I had like a chili chat earlier in the year where the parents came in and I showed them the calm down area. And we actually talked about some of the things in the kits. And, one of the parents was like, oh my gosh, like this is so helpful. We're always on 10 at home. And I'm like, and because you're always on 10, however you react to stress and anxiety, again, the kids are watching. And if you're reacting a certain way, when you get frustrated or stressed or upset, if you yell or, just close yourself off and don't talk and hold it all in, you are modeling all of that for your students. And so that's how they're going to manage stress. I know in my self-care group, we talked about the bookmark. And so one of the things I was suggesting is that everybody takes a brain break. If parents are at home, everybody gets something and they read. Because oftentimes as parents, we try to encourage our students to read, but how often do they see us reading? I know I personally read once I get into bed at night. That's something that I do. But the kids, if you have kids, they wouldn't see that if you're reading after they go to bed. So maybe everybody stops and take a brain break, because sometimes parents feel like they don't have a brain break in the middle of the day because they're all over the place dealing with a lot of things. So, maybe everybody needs to take a step back and calm down for a second. All right, Veronica, great ideas. Definitely looking forward to using the kits with our girls. I think introducing one item at a time. Yes, that's a great strategy, Veronica, because one of the things that I actually thought about doing is just expanding a little bit more and maybe having, a couple of just clips once a week to show a strategy and to talk to parents about how to actually use that particular strategy. Because I think if people just buy the kit and they just give it to the kids are not going to know what to do with it. And it is going to become a toy. So you actually have to, give this with some direction. Okay, let's see. Love the description of the items in the kit. Yes, so I think, like I said, Veronica, I think what I will do is try to do some short little 1 to 2 minute videos so that parents can maybe actually even, watch it before they introduce it, to the kids. So I'm really excited about this kit. I think that it's definitely useful. And it's tried and true, like I said, over the many years that I've been working with this population of kids, that it's simple tools, because you think, like I said, the monkey string or just a bookmark and encouraging students or kids to read for pleasure. It's so important. So thank you guys so much for, like I said, taking time to drop in today. This is actually the cards that I was just showing you, the My Brain Break kit, and then the additional strategies. This actually comes in the kit as well, and it's nice and laminated also, so that they can actually keep up with it. It doesn't get torn. They can just wipe it off. So where are the kits and how do you get them? The kits are now available at Dr. Gwen's Counselor Cafe shop. So you can just go to the cafe and click on to the shop, or you can actually go directly to the shop at Dr. Gwen's Counselor Cafe shop. And then here are some other ways to stay connected with me. I would like to know, if you purchase a kit, how do you, use it? What are your thoughts? How are the kids reacting to the things that are in the kit? And here's just a picture of everything that I kind of just showed that's in there. The stencil, the Rubik's Cube, the bookmark, the spinner, the apple, the popper, the snap and click, the monkey noodle, the stress ball. And as you can see, there's different stress balls. So that's one of the other things I want to emphasize really quickly, is that all of the things that I talked about will be in the kit, but that the size or the actual color may vary. So this is a yellow apple. It just happens to be just like the one that I just showed, but some of the apples are red, some are green. The little spinners come in all different colors: black, purple, green, orange, yellow. The little stuffed animals, you can see I had a little bear, but this one has a little frog in it. The stencil I showed was a bear, but here this one is a butterfly, and this has hearts and butterflies and flowers on the other stencil. So all of the kits will have all of the items in there, but of course the items may actually vary. So just be mindful of that. And I also ask that if you purchase one of the kits, I put it on there, but when you actually check out, if you will specify whether it's a girl or a boy that you're buying for. So if it's a girl and it's a basketball, maybe I put a pink basketball, or I put a pink soccer ball for the little pop up. Or if there's a little pink bunny, I don't necessarily some little boys don't want a little pink bunny. Some of them may not mind, but then others. So I'll try to have some things that are neutral. Or, some of the bookmarks are all pink and it has, little things on it. So if it's a girl or something on there, I would like to kind of pair it with that. If it doesn't matter to you one way or the other, then that's okay too. So here's, like I said, some other ways to stay connected. Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Here's my email. You can reach me through the website. So, yeah, I hope that you guys have found the broadcast helpful. I hope that you found some tools that you can possibly use. Miss Pingley, what are you saying? Great ideas. All need now is a complimentary pack with goodies for the front office. All right, Miss Pingley. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Please share the information with your friends, family, and colleagues. I will say one last thing. If you guys, I talked a lot about or it accidentally mentioned the self-care kit. But there's also a survival kit, and the self-care kit and survival kit are actually for parents. And I actually have those in a combo that you can get a self-care kit for yourself and then get a brain break kit for your child. So I put those in some combos. What is Veronica saying? Thank you for taking the time to provide us with this useful information that can be used on a daily basis. Absolutely, especially during this pandemic, as well as when the kids go back to school, with some of the changes that may be implemented when they return. That is exactly why I wanted to do this kit, Veronica. So thank you. And then Carla says, very helpful, good tips. Thanks. So hopefully, like I said, you guys found this. We'll share it. And again, I thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I will sign off. I'll just stay in the chat room just for another few seconds here in case anybody has questions or comments about anything. But if not, you guys have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Do something for yourself to take care of you this weekend. Okay? Thanks so much. All right, I don't see anyone posting anything else in the chat box, so I am just going to sign off here. All right, you guys have a great day.